Class 8th, Lesson 8th, it's cell structure and function. So this is the chapter that we need to study. Cells have three basic characteristics. So you can say these are the three basic parts of a cell. One is cell membrane, two genetic material, and the third one is metabolic machinery. So let us first study about different shapes and sizes of cells. Cells may have different shapes depending upon the type of function they need to do. The shape of the cells may change or it may remain the same during the lifetime. For example, the cells which are helpful in protection have different characteristics, and similarly the cells involved in the circulation have different characteristics. So according to their function they will have different features, different characteristics. Different shapes of the cells are as follows. They may be spindle shape, flat, oval, irregular, disc-like, round, cylindrical in shape, tube-like, elongated, and branched. The nerve cell receives and transmits messages, thereby helping in control and coordination, and it works in coordinating different parts of the body. So you can have a look on the structure of a nerve cell. It resembles just like a tree. It's the longest cell in a living body. Cell shape. Cells may be of disc shape. For example, the cell which are in disc shape like RBCs. You can see the picture given over here. Spindle shape means in these type of shape the cells are broader from the middle and from the ends they are narrow. So these examples is smooth muscle cells. Cell number. So we can divide organisms depending upon the number of cells they contain in their body. So the first type that we need to study is unicellular. So as the name indicates, uni means one. So a living organism which is made up of a single cell is called as a unicellular. Example, amoeba is one of the example. Here the picture of euglena is being given here. Here it's the picture of amoeba on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it's paramecium. Now next type of organisms are multicellular organisms. The organisms which have more than one cell are called as multicellular organisms. So the organisms which you are able to see with your naked eyes are mostly multicellular organisms, because unicellular organisms are so small that you can't see them with the naked eyes. So you can see human beings are example of multicellular organisms, and all the organisms that you see like dog, cat, horse, lion, deer, and many more, all the animals and plants that you're able to see with your naked eyes are example of multicellular. Now let's study about the size of a cell. The largest cell is an ostrich egg, and it is 17 centimeter in diameter. So as we were talking that the cells are very small and we are unable to see them. So this is an example where you can see a cell. In man, the smallest cell is RBCs, and its size is about 6 to 8 micrometer. The longest cell is the nerve cell, and its size can be up to 100 microns. The size of the cell has no relation with the size of the body of a plant or animal. So you can see that picture of a ostrich egg. So you can see in the picture a human being is holding this egg. So from that you can get an idea how big it is. So ostrich egg is the biggest cell. If you talk about a hen egg, even they are a cell. But according to eggs also, ostrich egg is the biggest one. So that's why we call it as the biggest cell. Cell is regarded as the true biological atom. So this is a quotation said by a well-known scientist, George Henry Lewis. So why it is being said? Because all the living organisms structure-wise are made up of cells, and function-wise also it is this smallest unit in the body which is doing the function, and that's why a living organism is able to survive. So that's why this quotation is being said that the cell is regarded to be as the true biological atom. Biological because it's living. So every cell is living and every cell is performing different functions, and due to that function only a living organism can survive.